So I was reading a few sources, clutchpoints.com and a few others. And, I was reading about Kawhi Leonard and Kawhi Leonard speaking on the NBA standings, because that's what he was asked about in one of his, after the game, post games, in regards to, I think, the Knicks game that they played, or the game before that, is where he spoke on it. And, he basically said that he doesn't pay attention to the NBA standings. And, listening to Kawhi say that, it really means a whole lot, because for Clippers fans to hear, because he's the type of guy that's really out there trying to win every game. And he also said that, too, in his comments that you could check out on clutchpoints.com and a few others, that, he doesn't pay attention to the standings and, where they are right now. It's all about just winning games. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's really concerned about. And, the mindset of Kawhi Leonard is what needs to bleed out on the rest of this team, or needs to marinate on the rest of this team, however you want to say it, because that type of mindset is what you need to win championships. I'm not saying Kawhi doesn't look at the standings, because he probably does. He probably has looked at it, but he doesn't. I don't feel like he pays attention to it, because the most important thing is, doing what you need to do and focusing on your team to make yourself get better. And I feel like that everybody on the Clippers need to have that same mindset, because going out winning games will cure everything. Winning cures everything. So it's like, you're not worried about the standings where you are 5th, 6th seed, wherever you land, if you're winning games and you're building that continuity. And that's what Kawhi Leonard's talking about. As a team, just focus on us, focus on what we can do, focus on what we can control, and playing in the game, within the game, making less mistakes, playing at a high rate, and not turning the ball over, and executing the plan. And that's exactly what Ty Lue should be implementing to the guys, if he's not already, because basically through Kawhi Leonard's message, in which he responding, what I'm talking about now, is what he's saying. And the reason why, the Clippers are looked at as this type of team to win a championship, possibly because, everybody on the team by now really should have that mindset, because it's all about just building that continuity. If you're building the continuity the right way, you're winning games at the same time. It goes hand in hand. So it's like, when you're building that continuity and everything is gelling and working right, you're winning, you're playing at a high level, and that's all that matters. And I think, for the Clippers' sake, that's all they need to worry about. The Clippers, in their mindset, if they could win out the rest of the season, which, might not be likely, but if that should be their mindset. Their mindset should be, let's win every single game the rest of the season, and we don't have to worry about, the standings or where we land, because if we win every single game, if we're building, game by game, little by little bit more continuity, especially with Russell Westbrook being on our roster in the starting lineup now, and if we're finding ways to win, that's going to translate possibly into the playoffs. And that's the type of mindset, and that's basically what Kawhi Leonard's saying. Just win as much games as you can, be in control of what you can control, and don't worry about the rest, because you have to understand, having Russell Westbrook on your team changes the whole dynamic of this team, because even though they won 3 games straight, up until this point, or they had the 3-game winning streak up to this point, it's still a lot of questions about Russell Westbrook and how he's going to fit, and how Ty Lue is going to use him going forward. And is Russell Westbrook going to be content with the role that he has? Because, Russ is a Hall of Famer, superstar still, and he's still a big name around the league in regards to who he has been in the past, and even to who he is today. So, the drama and everything is going to surround around Russell Westbrook, because he is still a kind of a big name in the NBA, so you can't deny that. But the Clippers, they have to wonder to themselves, or especially Ty Lue, can he get enough out of Russell Westbrook to give this team, the point guard they've been missing, and can he, not depend on Russ so much to where Russ makes mistakes in big moments where it can cause the Clippers to lose. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of surroundings around this team right now in regards to confusion, because even though they have been winning and playing better, Kawhi has been leading them along with Paul George. The Russ is still out. It's still a question about Russ. It's still a question about, what Russ is going to do from night to night, whether it's going to help this team win or, help them lose. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, personally, as I said before, T-Man should be the point guard for this team, starting. And then if you want to throw Russ in there as a kind of like as a backup in the second unit, you can do that, because I feel like the offense flows a lot better through Terrence Mann, or excuse me, not through him, but with him on the floor with Kawhi and PG, because they know him and they've basically, been with him the whole time. His whole time in the NBA, he's been with basically, Kawhi and PG. So, I mean, they know him, they understand him, and it just all goes together to me. And like I said, they had Russ coming out in the second unit, it would make them a lot more formidable as a team, because like I said, Russ's mistakes that he might make with the second unit might not cost the team as badly, because when the starters come back in, Russ is not in there, or he might be in there a little while with the starters, but he won't be on the floor in the beginning of the game. So, basically with the flow and control of the tempo of the game, Russ won't be able to have that type of effect on the game. That's the reason why the Lakers and Darvin Ham did that, because the mistakes that he comes in with off the second unit might not hurt as bad if your first unit, which is the starters, playing very well, and you got somebody else on the bench that you can kind of rely on scoring wise to kind of keep afloat. And the Clippers have that with Norman Powell. So if Russ came off the bench with Norman Powell, that would be okay, because when Russ gets in trouble, he can always toss it out there to Norman Powell. Norman Powell's a walking bucket. He can get 20, 25 points easily any game he wants to. So it's like there's somebody out there to make up for Russ's deficiencies offensively. And, you might have other guys out there like Eric Gordon, whoever Ty Lue decides to put out there. That would be a lot better for the team. But I mean, the fact that it's not that way, we can't really speak on that. But I think if he ran the second unit, it would be a lot more better for the Clippers in regards to making them more well-rounded, in regards to, they got T-Man running the point, playing at the highest level as he can. And he's very energetic and very, very good on-ball defender, I think. And like I said, his motor never turns down. And like I said, he can shoot the three a lot better. But, as I said before, Ty Lue doesn't see it that way at this point. So you got to just ride with the way it is and see that and hope that it all continues to work out the way you envision. But, Kawhi Leonard's right. Just focus on winning, focus on the things you can control, be the best team you can be, and, let the rest just, let the story tell itself, basically.